he turned 90 degrees, jumped out of the water, and ate the fly on entry. Oh my God, that was violent. That should do. Adam, what are you working on here?
I'm trying to go fishing, dude. Hey guys, Adam here, and I've got Brent with me from the Ramblin' Fly podcast, and we just got back from an awesome fishing trip in Alabama.
Yes, I've seen all the photos. Adam and Hobo Steve have been showing me all kinds of videos and pictures talking up this smallmouth fishing. But I'm a trout guy from Colorado, and I love my brown trout streamer eats. I don't know how it could get much better, but they convinced me, and I cannot believe I flew from Colorado to Alabama to go on a fly fishing trip.
Yep. I mean, we had a pretty good program dialed in to show Brent the ropes. Of course, we had the stuff where I'm from pretty much on lock with smallmouth and some largemouth stuff. But I wanted to go show Brent the full Alabama bass fishing experience and get to target some bass myself that I have not fished in a long time. So we met up with one of our buddies, Drew, from East Alabama Fly Fishing, and a few other industry folks to give Brent the full Alabama bass fishing tour and be able to catch some Alabama spotted bass and Redeyes. So let's see how that went.
The Redeyes, what's unique about them is that, you know, they're smaller, but they're super colorful. Mm-hmm. Like if we catch some today in the spring, they have this really crazy blue color on their throat. So they're the most colorful bass species, and they like to live in the shoals, so they like clean, clear, flowing water. The Redeye bass just set up in ambush spots, and they're looking in the current. And as they see something come by or they see something fall on top of them, they snag it. I mean, they pound it. And they don't wait either. Like if they're there and they're ready to ambush and it falls, I mean, it's within like 3 seconds of it landing on the water. So my name's Drew Morgan, and I started East Alabama Fly Fishing. Actually, I was a school teacher and needed a way to make extra money in the summer to pay for daycare.
Yeah.
So out of necessity, I kind of realized that, you know, I could guide it. This was guidable water, and no one else was really doing it then. So I started fishing more, and then I realized just how, I mean, really, truly, you know, this river is a great fly fishing for bass river. You know, there's some days that using a fly rod I will outfish a conventional rod. We've been blessed to build a community. When I first started this 9 years ago, like there were people who fished with fly rods, but I just kept hearing everybody say like, I didn't know anybody else fly fished around here, you know, and so I started trying to build that community and network people. Over time, like, you know, people just kind of connected in, and we had some pieces come together that helped to build the community. I mean, Matt's a scientist and basically wrote the book on fly fishing for redeye bass, so that was huge. I started the guide service. Hank Hershey, you know, started doing this amazing fish art that focused kind of on redeye bass and what we have in Alabama. And then Craig was a photographer, so he really helped in the early days and still now with photography and videography. Sure. So we kind of had each of those pieces, like the science, the art, the photography, the guiding, kind of together. And then from there, it just kind of really took off. And our big goal here and what we do, what I've always tried to do is network people, you know, get to know people, bring people together. My belief is that the more people I can take here and to see this and to see our creeks and streams, the more people want to protect them. And so kind of a grassroots, angler focused effort to get a little bit more protection for our water.
We just got down to some productive water. The first little bit of the float was pretty flat, but this is the kind of water that we're looking for today, and this is where the fish are going to be kind of posted up and hunting. Brent's fishing one of our tried and true flies, the Cooter Brown. I'm fishing R&D pattern that I've been using this year, We're gonna see if we can't put a couple fish in the boat, start hopefully dialing it in. The chi, you gotta have the right chakra.
There we go.
Uh-oh, we're on them now.
Figure it out. Well, the guys have been getting after the spots in the main channel. They've been fishing a little bit deeper, it seems, but Craig over here likes these little back channels. So we're gonna mess around, try and catch a few little red eye, and then we'll get back after the spots. That'll do. Those blues.
You can say again. Did it work?
Nice fish, Craig.
So came straight off of this rock ledge. He was sitting right where he was supposed to be, which is great news. Kind of in a deeper drop-off zone. Those fish are predatory, so they're sitting there looking for a pretty easy meal, just like a brown trout would be when you're streamer fishing for them. So he was in the right spot. We got the fly in there, got it pretty deep, and only took 1 or 2 strips, and he was on.
Give me some of that Cooter Brown.
See, dude.
Woo!
So I'm Matt Lewis. I am a PhD candidate at Auburn University, and I'm doing my research on red-eye bass, trying to understand the different genetic relationships between the species of red-eye bass in the Mobile Basin, and also understand where they're hybridizing with native Alabama bass.
Getting to fish with Matt was a very unique experience since he literally wrote the book on red-eye bass fishing. Later in the day, we caught up with him to get a few tips on how to identify both red-eye and Alabama bass.
So this is a Alabama bass. You used to think it was a subspecies of spotted bass, but it's actually its own species. It was described in 2008. But they're native to the Mobile Basin, and you can differentiate them from red-eye because they're going to have more of a solid lateral line here, whereas red-eye will have vertical blotches that are evenly spaced all the way to the tail. And they don't have this crescent above the back half of the eye like red-eye do, and they don't have as much color. You can see there's not a lot of blue on this fish. But this is just kind of your classic Alabama bass. You'll see a little bit of kind of pink coloration in the pectoral fins, or the pelvic fin, sorry. But yeah, just your classic Alabama bass.
Awesome.
This is a red-eye bass from the Tallapoosa River system. It's commonly called a Tallapoosa bass. And you can see some of the things that differentiate it from Alabama bass are these white edges on the caudal fin right here, and also this this blue crescent behind the eyeball, and just a general blue coloration around the entire fish. There's a lot of blue, and that separates them from Alabama bass. They typically won't have any blue.
Look at the blue.
So blue. So spend the time in good water. You gotta be able to stay just in good water. Let's go. I don't like waiting. That grass felt good. Y'all should try that.
Try that out.
Spice up your afternoon.
Y'all ever fish that salad?
That lettuce?
That garlic shad salad? Are you trying to cast at my hole?
Hey, I was fishing there.
They get clogged up really easy.
Oh,
Get anything in those fuel lines or that fuel filter thing that's in the gas tank.
Yep.
It's like a freight train. Took the rod out of my hand.
Yeah. Nice.
I am champion.
There it is.
Sweet.
Nice fish. Healthy.
All right.
Dude, good.
I mean, I
Muscle
will
up.
take a turn if you're willing to
I've
give it
got
up.
two. Come on.
All right.
Come on over here.
Don't make me.
Do you want this rod?
No.
Well, I know you do.
Now, do you have like a 3-weight?
You're such an ass. Fuck out of here. Fuck to get to the back of the boat.
Get in the back. Get in the back.
Oh.
Craig, once I catch like 12, 15, you can have a turn fishing.
Sounds good.
Does it matter a ton?
No, I don't
Can you
think
pull it
that-
forward a little more? Just there. There we go. Sorry. You're good.
Oh, I just got smoked by a 2-inch.
2 inch.
Oh my god. Actually,
That's what your girlfriend says all the time.
I got it.
Yeah, I'm starting to see a little bit of a pattern.
Fish. My fly bottoms out on the swing
Yeah.
and starts riding on the surface. The fish jumps out of the water, eats it, and misses. So I lift and slap it 8 feet to the left and like, darn it, he missed it. He turned 90 degrees, jumped out of the water, and ate the fly on entry. Oh my god, that was violent.
They're aggressive.
Yeah.
Well, we were over on this rock ledge right across the river, and Scott was nice enough to let me throw in there first, even though I was in the back of the boat. First cast, nothing. Second cast, I mean, he was hot too. He was a thug, as I'm told. So it was definitely a good eat over there.
Awesome fish. Sweet, man.
Nice.
Got a little tight, but it's good. I'm a huge Watch it. This is go in a second. Hey, Kurt. What job's supposed to be taking us a paper?
We rushed off the river to get to the F3T event. Man, is it cool to see that strong of a fly fishing community inside the heartland of the gear conventional bass fishing world.
All right, it is the morning of day 2. We got up really early and we're not late this morning.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen. What's the plan today, Adam?
What we're gonna do today is gonna look a little bit like trout fishing, but we're going after bass. So it's gonna be pretty fun. We wanted to show you guys that. We're putting the boats away. We're gonna be wading,
fishing?
walking. Yeah, something where you just like walk in the water without the boat.
That's not
Well, I got different
okay.
shoes that I can put on. But we'll hopefully get into some cool fish.
Yep.
Be really pretty
Did
spot.
you say floating lines today? Are we
reel.
gonna do?
I think we're doing floating lines,
Do
which is, I don't know, man.
No, it'll be sweet. We'll get. I think we're gonna do mostly 6-weight stuff today, but there's no way we're not bringing
Whoa,
one
man.
7-weight with sinking line. Drew and Craig are gonna show us around, and Jared's going to teach us how to fish. So
Yeah, so we've got all of our bases covered. I don't
Yep.
have to do anything. Yep. First cast on the yellow, we had black, but changed over to the yellow, and first cast had one blow up on it. So we're hopefully onto something. We got a really good stretch of water right here. We're gonna keep rolling. Hopefully we find a couple more of those. Did you like right underneath the tree?
Yeah, I like in the tree.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get up in the tree.
Oh, let's go, baby! We got down in here. We kind of hiked and mountain goated down a little trail to get back in this canyon. The trail kind of splits from this area and goes around us. But he knew a little way to get down, and finally cast into this pool and caught a really cool.
Yeah, that was a really nice fish. All colored up in the spring for spawning. Probably a 20-inch fish. But all kidding aside, I mean, that was probably a 10-inch fish, which is a really big redeye, really old fish, especially for this water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who fish a long time for redeye bass to get a fish like that.
So super pretty. The blues are really pop. Had the red in the fins too.
Right.
Have you done a lot of brook trout fishing up in like?
Yeah.
And this is every bit as good as that,
Right.
if not maybe better.
Yeah, and you can get a 10-inch fish, you know,
Yeah.
and at least for us in Alabama, you know, it means we don't necessarily have to drive to North Carolina, although there's nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, an hour away, 45 minutes away, and you're in a place like this.
Awesome
catching-
canyon, super clear water. I mean, crystal clear. I saw the fish coming for,
Oh,
you know,
nice.
hopefully in the shot you can see the fish coming. I mean, I saw the fish turn on it and just come up and eat. So tons of fun.
It's so weird to get excited about a 10-inch fish, you know, but if you've ever done any brook trout stuff, I mean, it's the same thing. You get it. You know, you
Yeah.
work for it. You're in a place that is crazy scenic, and you catch a beautiful fish.
Wow. Thanks to everyone down south that took us out, showed us a great time on the river, and helped us achieve our goal of catching a spotted bass and a red-eye bass. You guys are real pros. Since our mission was mostly complete, the only thing left was for Adam to show me around his home and catch some smallmouth. We had put down the cameras for the most part and wanted to enjoy it, but here's a few fun clips from the time on the river. I like
The
it.
fun part about warm water fishing, and especially what we're doing today, is if you like to catch a lot of different species of fish, there's all the species of fish in here. So we've got a ton of different types of bass, catfish, brim, panfish, whatever you guys want to call them. Different types of white bass as well. So it's really fun because you don't really know exactly what you're going to get. Like that, I just caught a catfish that ate a crawfish pattern being bumped off the bottom in a little bit of current. So pretty cool that you get to do a little bit of everything.
that's a spot on the old TM.
You were TMing as well?
TM, and didn't I tell you that? We did the thing. We
We caught a fish doing
caught
the
a
thing.
fish doing the thing on the glitter boat. Plan is now to run back at full speed.
Only goes full speed.
Only goes full speed. go grab some lunch, and then grab an afternoon float on a smallmouth river and see if we can't do that spotted bass, largemouth bass, smallmouth bass in
All
a
the same
day. God, that would be good.
We're doing good. We got 2 of the 3 right now.
Steady, steady. Yahtzee.
Yahtzee. Oh wow, look at that.
Such a cool fish.
Well, Brent,
All right, it was cool. It was freaking cool. The bass fishing down there, as you guys just saw, was amazing. Those fish get really big. They eat streamers. We get to throw 7 weights on tight little casts, long big casts. Is super dynamic streamer fishing. But Adam and I go in much more depth on that on the Ramblin' Fly podcast with Drew, Matt, Hank, and Craig from the East Alabama fly fishing scene. And if you guys were interested in the video and want to listen more, check out the podcast. Thank you, Adam, for taking me down there.
Absolutely. I'm glad you had a blast. Guys, hopefully you did too. All the links are going to be below to some of the characters that you saw in the film, some of their websites and information. We'll also have the link to the Ramblin' Fly podcast, which is live if you are watching this. So we've actually got 2 podcasts coming. One with Drew and Matt from Cahaba Brewing in Birmingham, Alabama at the F3T event. And the second one that's coming out next week is going to be with Craig and Hank from Hank's Bait Shop. And that one was filmed on scene at one of our takeouts after fishing. Was a really, really cool spot.
The Frog House. Anyways, go check them out. Thank you guys for tuning in, and don't forget,
Like and subscribe.